I'm coming to you today from the White House. About, I'd say 2.5 weeks ago, I got an email inviting me to the White House. And I was like, is this real? Well, you're about to see how real it really is. I'm going to show you today the Christmas decorations for 2023 right here at the White House in Washington, D.C. All right, I'm ready for your questions. How about you, from the Daily News? I've always wanted to do that. Side note, of the 6 influencers invited, 4 of them were actually from TikTok and only 2 from YouTube. Imagine my delight to find out the other YouTuber was Drew Scott. You know him as Lone Fox. If you haven't seen Lone Fox and his videos, you should definitely go and watch them. So I've been wanting to get together and have an actual meet and greet, like for real, because I'm so proud of him. You're like, I'm the OG, and you're the new up and coming, like, not just up and coming, he's already there. But you. How fun for us. Were you guys excited? Did you think this was real when you got the email?
No, I thought it was fake.
I did too.
I said, this is a fake White House email.
That's what I said.
White House, I was like, this is a fake email.
We all
thought
that.
It was spam.
Drew brought with him Justin, who filmed much of what we did, and I brought with me Dorian, my longtime editor, who captured the whole experience on film so that I could share this all with you. This is amazing, Dorian. It's got a tree sticking out the top of the building. And it's like we're looking up its skirt. It was an interesting first impression, not only visually, but audibly, as the military band was playing "Oh, Christmas Tree," as of course we walked under a Christmas tree to begin our tour. All right, I mean, you always have a live band out there?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, well, you got a really rough job.
I do.
Nice to meet you, Officer
Shamas.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for your service. When it was clear that this invitation was indeed real, I gave myself a little homework to listen to an Audible book related to the White House. I found one by J.B. West called Upstairs at the White House. The book focused on the first ladies from Roosevelt all the way through to Carter. I found it really helpful as I toured each room, knowing how each first lady made personal changes that reflected her style and her family's needs. Lady Bird Johnson. Just listen to an Audible book about her. Now I know what she looks like.
This is the Gold Star family tree, so they have names of veterans or fallen heroes that have, served the country, different names of families that are part of that community.
The theme for 2023 is magic, wonder, and joy. I might have called it My Wealthy Aunt Who Lives in a Huge Old Mansion Turned It into Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. But that's just me. My eyes were met with splashes of color, candy canes, big huge stars, big huge gumdrops, peppermints, nutcrackers, lots of trees and garlands, and lots of bows and lights. It took a trip to the White House.
Oh, I know.
For us to meet in person.
I know.
And isn't this so fun?
Yeah. Oh my
Wow. Drew and I entered the largest room in the White House. It's called the East Room, where we interacted with a life-size advent calendar, each door revealing another sugar cookie surprise. And from what I understand, they are actually edible sugar cookies made by the White House baker. So they're going to put on Pinterest all these ways you can do these DIY projects so you can make some of these Washington decorations for your own home. The White House this year has 98 trees, 34,000 ornaments, 142,000 lights, and nearly 15,000 feet of ribbon. And I thought I had a lot of Christmas stuff. The famous Red Room in all its glory. And this year it's red and hot pink and fuchsia. It's gorgeous. So tell me your name.
Beth Kingston.
Okay, Beth, and your husband's in the military?
He's 21 years, and we're also the sponsor parents of 6 midshipmen at the Naval Academy.
Wow. And
We
she
have all
was
the
one of the
military.
volunteers who was working on the decor for the
Right.
White House.
We got here Friday, and we worked until about 7 o'clock last night. Hand decorating. The popcorn garland is handmade. The portraits are for military children, and we added the little garlands and the little macaroni, took it sort of to the next level. Everything in this room is hand decorated, hand touched by volunteers. 300 volunteers, probably 10, 12 hours a day.
Wow.
We did it, and we're
That's
so
how long it
tickled with
takes
the
me
result.
to decorate too. I mean,
Me
way
too.
more than 3 days,
This
but
is
10 or 12
exactly
hours a day.
what my tree looks like at home.
In this room, one of my curiosities of the White House Christmas decorations was addressed. You heard her. 300 non-paid volunteers pull this thing off. Truth is, you and I, the taxpayers, do not pay for this extravagance at all. The cost of decorating the White House is the responsibility of the President and First Lady, who often get private donors and organizations to provide the materials. And they gather a group of enthusiastic volunteers to pull off the First Lady's vision. As I came to understand the First Lady's vision, it was this. She wanted to create an atmosphere that would be fun, engaging, where the onlooker could embrace their inner child and take their mind back to when things were simpler, when something like a piece of candy was a treat and Christmas held its magic.
Hold up, I am on my way.
I'm Carlos Elizondo, White House Social Secretary. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the White House.
Oh my gosh, White House Social Secretary. Say that 5 times quickly. That
Say
is
that
not
5
easy.
times. That's right.
That's amazing. So
Thank
your
you.
job is mainly to have parties?
And everything that happens here in the executive residence.
Really?
Everything that happens, yeah.
Okay, do
So
they
we're
still
gonna
have
We're going to have like 22, 23 holiday receptions this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just read a book by J.W. West, J something West, and it was
Yeah.
about the White House First Ladies.
Yeah.
And it was written by the head usher. Do you
Yeah.
guys still have ushers?
Chief usher.
Chief
The
usher.
chief usher, yeah.
That's who it was.
He's
And when he
still there,
retired,
yeah.
he wrote a
Yeah,
book,
he
and it was
retired.
so interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I
It's
know a
a
little
good
bit
business.
about what he does.
Anyway, well, good.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course,
It's really
thank
an
you.
honor.
Welcome and happy
Yeah,
holidays.
thank you.
My heart.
Ah, the Blue Room. In there resides the 18-foot tall official White House Christmas tree. It was quite impressive, as it represents all 50 states, including Oklahoma. My color for 2023, gold and aqua. I've always loved the concept of a train running around the base of a tree. You just need a lot of room to do that, but I think it's awesome. Drew and I took the opportunity for a photo op. Not likely to become part of the oil painting collection at the White House, but we thought we should probably take advantage of this rare opportunity.
We're walking through the White House.
Yes, and
Looking at all the decor.
I know.
Christmas Queen. Christmas Queen.
and DIY King. The area I was most impressed with was the grand foyer, with numerous green trees brightly lit and lining both sides of the hallway. And floating from the ceiling was a nearly life-size replica of Santa's reindeer, sweeping over the room to give us that night before Christmas story vibe. Honestly, I think this area appealed to me because it seemed a little bit more sophisticated. I mean, I think we all have our personal preferences, and this is mine. Although I do think that embracing one's inner child with candy is not a bad thing. Overall, my experience at the White House was extraordinary and clearly an honor. I wish we'd had more time to capture everything, but the 1-hour deadline was real. In addition, the chance to meet up with Drew and Justin was an unexpected pleasure. It was great fun enjoying this once-in-a-lifetime experience together. Side note, if I could have taken anything away from the White House, like a souvenir, I'd have taken that beverage urn. It was fancy. I've got about 24 hours still in Washington, and I'm going to go around and visit all the monuments and all of the statues. Our first stop, the Capitol. Dorian and I must have grabbed a dozen Uber rides, and we went on a whirlwind tour of DC. And when I say whirlwind, I mean it. The wind was brutal. Do you think anyone will know that the wind is so so strong, it's literally pulling my eyelashes off. I expect them to be in the Potomac here any second. I'm wearing velvet, and the inside of my coat is felt or wool. And so it's like trying to put something on that's Velcro, and I can barely get it. As we approached, I noticed on the front lawn, a crew of men were erecting a huge tree in front of the Capitol. So I climbed over the ropes and helped myself to a closer view. Super exciting. The Capitol is right behind me. And guess what this is? This is the official Christmas tree for the Capitol. The tree at 63 feet tall and decorated with handmade ornaments sent from children all around the U.S. was really quite touching. From there, we visited the botanical gardens where they had various species of poinsettias. Who knew there were different types of poinsettias? I wonder what species Costco sells. On to our next Uber ride to the Lincoln Memorial. The massive stone carving of him is a testament to the astounding impact he made during his presidency. This is like something I've seen in movies but never seen in real life. Really special. And it's huge. Just opposite the memorial is a straight-on view of the Washington Monument. Guys, it's 555 feet tall, and it honors our first president, George Washington, where, incidentally, copies of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence are buried in the cornerstone. Whoa, it's so windy out here. I might end up in this thing. Dorian and I were grateful that it was such a beautiful, clear day, but the icy wind was ripping us apart. So we headed back to our hotel. Yep, the iconic Waldorf Astoria. I figured go big or go home. I mean, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and I wasn't gonna skimp. I chose this hotel because of its proximity to the Capitol and the White House, but also because of its reputation as a luxury 5-star hotel with significant history, because the building itself was the original U.S. Post Office building. I'll give you a tour of my suite at the end of this video. So if you want to see what the rooms look like on the inside, keep watching. Our sagua is here. This is cotton candy sagua. Wow. Dorian and I ended our day in Washington by celebrating this amazing experience. We celebrated you too, our YouTube audience. After all, without you, we wouldn't even be here. So to you, we say cheers and thank you. Still got a cold, wispy wind. So this is our last morning before we head out to the airport. And they say that the clock tower, which is attached to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, has got the best view. So we're gonna head up there now and see what Washington looks like from the top. The clock tower is actually connected to the hotel, but has a completely separate entrance. And it's open to the public and it's free. Honestly, I read and was fascinated by the plethora of historic information. However, to avoid an hour-long video and a history lesson, I recommend that if you get a chance to visit Washington, D.C., be sure to visit the old clock tower, as it is the second tallest building in Washington, and from there you have a 360-degree view of everything. Oh, I have to put my AirPods in. It's freezing. It'll keep me from getting a headache, at least. It is so cold. Whoops, is that falling out? Ah!
White House is right there.
It's in between.
There's a helicopter that just landed in the front of the White House.
Oh,
so
we missed it.
It hasn't taken off yet.
Oh.
It's probably there to pick up the president, and once it picks it up, it becomes Marine One.
Including the liftoff from the White House lawn in Marine One. Goodbye, Mr. President. Au revoir. Accomplish something for the American people. Get me an elevator. From the elevator, you can actually see the atrium lobby of the Waldorf Astoria. And on that note, would you like to see what the rooms look like at the Waldorf? Come with me. This is the Waldorf Astoria in downtown Washington, D.C. Come take a look at my room. It's really quite beautiful. good sized room with 2 queen size beds, and look how gorgeous these are. Isn't this like luxurious? Very Washingtonian. Is that a thing? Anyway, it's beautiful. I love this dark blue suede backdrop on this. So you have the 2 beds, total symmetry. Love the benches at the ends of the beds. You'll see that there's great curtains. I think these blue curtains are so beautiful. And sheers. Now here's what's cool about this. With the flip of a switch, your curtains close and give you total privacy and room darkening at night, which is great. In the center of the room, you see this gorgeous medallion in the ceiling and a crystal chandelier. I'm one of those people that when I go on a trip, I will spend a little bit of extra money to stay in something nice because obviously I do interior design, right? So the way I feel when I wake up in the morning, it just makes a difference in my day. And to me, this is how I treat myself. Okay, so I could have cleaned this up for you, but the truth of the matter is I'm only here for a day. I don't want to spend the whole time cleaning up. But look how big and beautiful this bathroom is. Gorgeous shower over here, all in marble with the gold handles and the faucets. Even the towel holders are gold. Even the toilet paper holder, for goodness sake. Oh, and then poopery. One should never travel without poopery. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and this is not a sponsored video. Look at these beautiful mirrors and the sconces in between with the very shiny, glamorous crystals that hang from each one. This is total symmetry. Double sink, drawers, all the towels, the accoutrement, and I love this. This is really good for someone my age because I need to see, you know, if I get my lashes on right, because sometimes, you know, they're, you don't want to do that. Hello, beautiful bathtub. I'm just hoping that I get done in time tonight after we go to dinner to enjoy this bathtub, like luxuriate in this big, this probably takes a lot of water, don't you think? I wonder if they charge extra for that. I guess we'll find out. In here, there is one of these Federalist mirrors. That's very Washington-like, right? Typical what you would think you'd get here. But this has a mini bar in it, which I promise you I have not touched. You come into here and there's a tete-a-tete chaise where you can sit and talk to another person, have a drink. We actually had champagne that was brought up to us by the management, which was very sweet. But this right here is what I call my Oval Office. Archway into this little nook. It is rounded. Don't you think it's like an Oval Office? I think so. And then they bring in that same damask fabric here that's in the bedroom, create this little pull apart, some tie backs, and then a gorgeous rounded desk with one flat side. At the top, another medallion in the ceiling that's molded, and then another crystal chandelier. I just love that. In case you're thinking that I use this space while I'm here to write some notes, pay some bills, you know, do like Oval Office stuff, this is what I do. Come take a look. Oh, this is where I put my makeup on. How perfect is that? And in this little tiny drawer, all of my brushes fit here? Yeah. I mean, this does not happen automatically. This takes some work. So I put up my mirror here and I get all this natural light coming in on me. So that's the kind of office I run, a tight ship. That wraps it up for the little tour of my room here at the Waldorf Astoria. I hope you liked it. If you ever come to Washington, D.C., this is super close to everything. Really, really nice place to stay. It's kind of a treat. Well guys, this concludes my trip to Washington, D.C. I hope you were able to somehow live this journey vicariously through me and enjoy not only the White House Christmas decorations, but the incredible architecture and bits of history that I included. As for the White House Christmas decorations, were you able to capture the vision of our First Lady? And rather than having a sugar rush and then a hypoglycemic crash afterwards, were you able to see Christmas through the eyes of a child? I hope so. All right, my friends, please leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this experience. Remember, it was not a political trip. You did not pay for it, and no, I did not decorate it. All right then, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, brace yourself, Effie.
It's gonna be a cold one.